Bit of a different one here today. We're going to be talking about Audio Rain and their new album, The Perfect Sea. I'm going to get contributions from Jeff and Dave into this one, but they can't do it with me here tonight. So I'm going to fill my piece now, and then we'll edit things together and see how it goes in post-production. But Audio Rain, The Perfect Sea is 10 tracks, 46 minutes. It's the second studio album from the Adelaide band, released May 2024 via their new label, X Music. I can't recall, as I set this up, who did the production, but it is in the interview we did with them, so go and check out the interview. But from this album, at least 4 singles have been released, including Motorway and Crown. There were also tracks previously released on a international deluxe edition of the previous self-titled album from 2018. The first album was reissued a couple of years later. But this one's been a long time coming, and we've been super keen for this. If you remember our review of the original album, Dave and myself in particular adored it. So each week we go through reviews. We do stuff here for Patreon people, and one is, we do stuff that they voted on. Each week we're going to be implementing what we call a captain's pick. So this is our pick. We do 2 for Patreon, 1 for us, and this is our pick for this particular week. So let's get stuck into this album. This one kicks off with an absolute barn burner in Relentless. Don't let the little acoustic intro sort of throw you off the scent here. This one probably packs the meanest punch on the whole album for mine. The lyrics in particular are great. I love the grit when Bullet in the Chamber, that riff, that lyric, cuts in, and the little gun effect that goes with it is really well done. Beyond that, though, is a story of a caged animal that is just finally being released after the last few years of turmoil we've all endured. And it's a welcome, long overdue release. That tension of getting out and going for it is just, I love the tension uncoiling there. This whole thing right from the start is all that impact, and it has that in spades. It just different kinds of impact as you go through the whole album. The vocals are great. The riffs and solos are top notch too, and the rhythm section really drives this album hard. These guys are firing on all cylinders, and if you like hard rock at all, then this is going to be hard to go past. What you'll note going through this album is that the band is far from a one-trick pony. The second track is a perfect follow-up and almost an antidote to the opening track. The Perfect Sea, which is the title track, the second track, is all about the relationship any band has with its fans, and it's put so damn well. It's a slower, softer track that still has more than enough sort of punch in there, to give you that emotive weight that you're looking for. There's, like I said, the emotive weight is there. The lyrical content really does nail that for you. And you really feel the storm they're talking about. You feel the storm, which feels fitting after the opening of the album to go into this sort of the perfect sea. It just feels right to go there at that point in time. Crown, the next track, has one hell of a hook. Like so many songs on here, this is perfect for radio. Just mass consumption, I should say. Not really radio these days. It's infectious. It's hard to deny it, but in the best way possible. Like people like to think of metal and rock worlds where it's perfect for radio. It's not a bad thing. It just means that anyone can enjoy this thing. It's got great energy, great lyrics. Again, if this song doesn't make you want to chase down whatever your dreams are, then I don't know what to tell you, because it's one of those songs that just fires you up. These guys are one of those rare bands that can sort of make heavy music, and make no mistake, this is heavy rock. But it makes it's a positive feeling. It's inspirational with none of the sort of cheese factor that goes into a lot of that sort of music. Angel is the next track, and that sort of continues the hard then soft approach that we're getting by this point in time. I know we've mentioned Nickelback and these guys in the past before, but for all the hate Nickelback get, they are incredibly good at what they do, and these guys are no less talented. They really ride that edge of making sort of great heavy music that's still accessible to everyone, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think especially when it's as honest as this is, it's just so well done that it can and should be heard by everyone out there. On the track Angel, the lyrics, again, combined with Jake's really emotive delivery, really drive that story and the song home well. And the way Angel sort of builds with the drums before the riff change into the chorus is just a purely great dramatic touch in the composition. These guys have honed and refined these songs so well, awaiting to get this out to the world, which is why I think that it's worth the wait that it's been. Forgotten You brings the grunt back to the album. That's got some absolutely killer riffs on it, and those riffs are all over the album. To be honest, but also great use of harmony and backing vocals for extra impact here. Breathe though breaks the pattern by keeping the heavy side of things rolling along, but again the hook in the chorus shows why this song was released as a single. I love the change up riff and the double kick under that one though. This packs a really mean punch, that song, and those harmonies again, all followed by a great solo. These guys do it all and do it incredibly well. Last in Line brings more space to the listen again, allows the vocals more room to breathe, but the weight of the riff is a great counter to that, and again, great harmonies on the song. I love the guitar tones all over this album. I really enjoyed the mix section of that song in particular, though, where they allowed the drums and the bass to sort of really take the spotlight. That was well-deserved and sort of shows just how well-rounded these guys are as a complete group. Then they get the heavier, chunkier change up. Another great solo. I love how the solos really reflect the emotion in these songs, and they're all wonderfully different to each other, but they fit perfectly every single track. There's the clever little byplay that sees Motorway follow Last in Line, because how that song Motorway references not wanting to be the last in line. It's a good little sort of clever little punch in there. Again, another song that if it doesn't inspire you to sort of get up and go, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what will. This is really one of those albums that can just pump you up. Whisper is the first of two tracks to close things out that put another vocalist into the spotlight. Not exactly sure who did the co-lead vocal on this one, or on the other track afterward too, but it works damn well. It's a great way to start wrapping things up. I love the swing and the groove on that track in particular too. Whisper was a good one. That one really rumbles, makes you stay locked in as we approach the end of the album. And I also love the actual use of a whisper in there too, which I'm glad they didn't miss that opportunity. It's a genuinely darker track on the album, probably the darkest track here, but it really fits and it really works well toward the end. I enjoyed it quite a lot. If you go back to the debut album, they were always a band that had more strings to the bow than you might expect. They always were able to take different gears and different tacks and make it all work well. This album is a further demonstration of just how talented they are, and how, whilst they have a definite feel and a vibe, don't be surprised if they paint outside the lines, because they will do it and they'll do it exceptionally well. And this album and the debut album both have those moments, and Whisper is one of those tracks, and it works exceptionally well. Then on top of that, you got this closing track called Gone, which is pretty much a genuine acoustic ballad. The first on the album. It also introduces strings into the equation. Never sitting too pretty, this band. They're always sort of, trying to push the boundaries of what they're capable of, and the answer to that appears to be whatever the hell they want. They can do anything. The female vocal was a great addition on that one. The little plucked strings was a good touch in there as well. It's a subtle but really good detail in there. All in all, this is a great follow-up album to what was a fantastic debut album. If anything, this is the band showing sort of a more refined craft and a little more maturity, which suits them well as years are going by. These guys, as far as I'm concerned, one of the premier bands in the country right now. The style, with their ability, they could and should cut through. I think it's just up to all of us now to sort of go out there and try and spread the word and make sure as many people hear about this band as possibly can. I hope being with the new label helps these guys. It's great to see them actually getting some reward for effort. They for the first time hit the ARIA charts with this album, which has been great to see over the last couple of days as I do this one. Well deserved. I just hope that there's much more to come, because this album, the band, the guys, and these songs deserve everyone's attention. On our sliding scale of how shit-faced we're getting listening to this one, I'm giving this 9 shots, so it's getting me legless, damn near shit-faced. But I picked Crown, Breathe, Motorway, and Whisper as my standout tracks on this one. What we'll do now is we'll throw to the other cutaway. We'll go to Dave and Jeff, and we'll get their thoughts on this album, and then I'll come back and just do a quick little wrap-up before we move on out of here.
Audio Rain, The Perfect Sea. I have been looking forward to this album for a long time. Their first album, self-titled, was amazing, and after hearing it, I became a very big fan of this band. There's been a few singles in the lead up to The Perfect Sea. Each has been amazing, so I had big expectations for this, and they exceeded them. It is an amazing album. Sounds amazing. Songwriting and performances are excellent. The lyrics are really well written and sung. Jake has an excellent rock voice, works perfectly for the heavy songs and the tender moments as well. And he writes good, honest stories, which I can relate to, which is always good when you listen to music. Each song is memorable in both terms of music and lyrics. It has that special it factor that a band needs to give these songs life and dramatic emotive content. Album opens with Relentless, and this song just sets up the album. Killer guitar tone, awesome lyrics, and amazing solo. The whole bullet in the chamber build, and then the drop, and then the whole chorus kicks in. That is cool. Amazing live as well. Heavy, hard-hitting rock with elements of metal. This would be perfect for radio, and that comes down to the engaging songwriting and catchy songwriting as well. It's accessible and it has some bite. It's genuine. Excellent song, and that's just the first song. Perfect C, title track. This is another great song. Nice thank you to the audience and showing that, hey, we're all in this together. Bands, audiences, we all love music, and without the audience, band wouldn't be there. Without the band, the audience wouldn't be there. So, as Nikki would say, we're all in this together. Crown, third track, upbeat and inspiring. I love these lyrics. It goes something like, don't ever let anything hold you back. You only got one life, and regret is a bitter pill. That's just cool. Very cool songwriting. This is one of many songs on the album that would be perfect for radio. In fact, just about every song would be perfect for radio. Once again, awesome solo in this track as well. Angel. This song is amazing. It seems like a straight up love song, but as you become more familiar with these lyrics, it becomes apparent that there's complexity to this situation. There's something that's making it hard when it should just be so simple. But amazing chorus, love it, great verses, and very, very clever songwriting, musically and lyrically. Then there's a few mood shifts throughout the album. Breathe, musically, it's pretty upbeat. Lyrically, it deals with some heavy stuff at the same time. It's one of those where I use the phrase, when you're happy, you enjoy the music. When you're sad, you understand the lyrics. And that's a good example with that song. And Breathe is followed by a very moody track, Last in Line. There's a slower midsection in there, and it builds up in drama and intensity and peaks with the lyric, can you convincingly remind me that I am worth so much more? And then Buck. There's very cool structure and builds and dramatic peaks in these songs. Awesome solo again. Motorway, which was a single a few weeks ago, we reviewed it on one of our live streams, and I think everyone loved it. Lyrically, this stands out to me, and I can just make a connection to what he's talking about. I love the honesty and the vulnerability on display here. There's also a strength of just still putting that next foot forward and not giving up. So, lyrics, musically, fantastic. Whisper. This song starts out just as it says, a musical whisper, and then you get that contrasting vocal. You get the vocals that are clean and up front, and then it's kind of replied, washed out scream. It's a clever way of displaying that resented, repressed rage that's threatening to escape. I thought that was a very cool way of doing that. The song's got awesome energy. And then the final track on the album, Gone. A nice acoustic opening to this song. It's a good choice to close the album with. Nice addition of the strings. Musically calming, and there's both a sadness and an upbeat feel to this. Lyrically, it seems happy, but I soon realized that happiness is in the past tense, and there's a wish and an element of hope that happiness will return. It's a beautiful song and a cool contrast to the ballsy, all-out, guns-blazing opening track. So I love when bands are diverse and they're willing to show different sides of themselves and are capable of very different things. And once again, great song to close the album on. From start to finish, this is a great listen. I can enjoy this as an album of killer rock songs, or I can read over the lyrics and enjoy it on many different levels. There is a lot to enjoy here. Well done to everyone involved in making this album. I can't find a single thing to fault on here, so it's getting a 10 out of 10. There really isn't a bad song, a bad moment. If you haven't seen them live, make sure you do. I'd say every song is a standout, but just if I have bullet to my head, I would have to pick some. Relentless, Perfect C, Angel, Forgotten You, Last in Line, and Motorway. But everything's amazing. And those favourites will probably change with subsequent listens, because I haven't stopped listening to this since I got it. So, guys, thanks for an amazing album. Drink up, rock on.
Hi, all, you hard rock and metal maniacs. It's Jeff from The Hard Rock Show. Today, I'm going to be telling you what I think of Audio Rain's new album, which just came out a few weeks ago. What Audio Rain have released with their new album, The Perfect C, is, in my opinion, nothing short of pure rock excellence. Right from the opening acoustic serenade of Relentless to how it then comes crashing in with heavy guitars, drums, ripping vocals from none other than Jake Fleming. It's clear that Audio Rain want to get your attention without any of the bullshit getting in the way. The production heard here is also top shelf. And if you've been a longtime fan of this band, you'll know that they released their self-titled album back in 2018, which was their debut. And that was a banger of a record. And right off the bat, you can hear the differences, the sonic differences between that album and this album. And like The Perfect Sea, that album had one mission: to rock your asses off, which they also find a way to do live. And yet, they've also found a way to do the impossible, proving that lightning actually can strike the same place twice. This time around, they found a way to up the ante and make everything louder, stronger, brighter, and more in your face. And just like their debut did, The Perfect Sea finds a way to also leave its indelible mark on you and sticks with you long after the final track has ended. Right from the opening track, Relentless lives up to its name. Relentless in its attempt to pull you in and not let you go, and that holds true from the first track to the last. What the boys have crafted here is the perfect summation of their more than a decade-long career, dedicated solely to ripping you a new one, and converting you for all time as a devoted fan, which I know because they've done it to me. Now, it's not hard to fall in love with this album. Somehow they found a way to craft a banger that has more melody, pure tenacity, and rock inside it than should be allowed. This is a brilliant songwriting mecca. Other bands would do well to take heed and take a page out of their playbook when it comes to writing their own songs. This is how it's done. And Audio Rank cranks it up to 11. And the relentless tempo only shows you how, they can get together in a room and record an amazing album. Then they drop the tempo a little bit, just long enough to give you a much needed breath with a beautiful song like Angel. It's a nice change of pace, because here the band wants to prove that not only are these Adelaide Sons a rock behemoth, but also a band capable of remembering a discerning audience demands attention to detail, with some much needed tender moments included as well. But it's only just long enough to catch your breath. Then it's on to more relentlessness. It's off again at a full tilt. Remember, this band is on a mission, a rock mission, to rock your asses off, and also show that they can do so with the best that the genre has to offer. And to that end, they continue with their blistering mission, and just when you don't think that they can impress you anymore, they close out the album with a beautiful and tender, heartfelt song, Gone. It's one of those rare songs that speaks to you straight to your soul, that a love shared is the most important thing that we have, and then the heartbreak that happens when it's no longer there. Make no mistake, this band knows what it's doing here. They're leaving you with a gift that will haunt you long after the final chord rings out. All up from start to finish, this album is a treat that leaves you breathless, but also has that rare sensibility to know when to pull back just long enough so that when it's ready, it can then shift it into an even higher gear. With over 10 years of practice, the boys know how to reel you in and pull you on board. With The Perfect Sea, Audio Rain have found a way to craft a banger, knocking it out of the park, and that should act as the perfect vehicle to catapult this band to the upper echelons of their musical peers. I'm going to give this 10 shots. This is a brilliant album. Check it out. I know you won't be disappointed.
All right, we've heard the other guys' thoughts on this one. You've heard my thoughts. Hopefully you've all enjoyed this little review. So make sure you get involved, listen to the album, as always, make up your own mind by listening to the music for yourself, and then give us your thoughts on this one too. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed this album as much as I personally did. Hopefully the other guys did as well. I haven't seen their thoughts as I do this session here, but for me, this is a phenomenal album. I hope that everyone that did the review and everyone that watches this review loves it. And to the guys, congratulations on a cracking release. You guys have done it again. Pretty sure you'll be up there at the end of the year with our top 10s and that sort of stuff too. This is a stunning year for good music, and this album is one of the best ones so far. So congrats to you. Congrats to the success. More success to you in the future. But yeah, for now, check out the music, folks. Give us your thoughts. We're back again with more soon. Until then, drink up, rock on. Hey there, just wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time to stop by and watch the video. We'd love to hear from you, so if you've got any thoughts, make sure you get in the comments and share those with us as well. Yeah, like and subscribe if you like what you saw us doing here. We'd love to have you along for the ride with us. But please also consider joining our Patreon page. That's what we're doing, a bit of a push on that at the moment. If you want to sign up for the free tier, please do. It just keeps you up to date with everything we've got going on. But if you can just spare as little as $2 a month to get involved and have some fun with some polling and that as well, that'd be greatly appreciated. But anyway, I'll get out of here. Thank you again for your time. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, drink up, rock on. Speak.